In our society, we use the word success a lot. We may even think we know what it means, but what is success really? Is it being financially abundant, healthy, married, good looking, admired, or famous? Rarely we take a step back and we really look at what is the definition of success. And is the success that we're going towards something that we've decided or outside forces has put upon us? That's why in this video, we're going to talk about what is the real definition of success, look at what happens when you have the wrong metric of success, and finally how to redefine your success to really live a happy and abundant life in every area of your life. Coming up. If you're new here, my name is Dedeyan. Welcome to my channel, the one-stop shop for peak performance, entrepreneurship, and personal growth. So the first thing we're gonna look at is the definition of success. To do so, I pulled it up from the Webster Dictionary, and I'm gonna read it to you guys. Degree or measures of succeeding, favorable or desired outcome. Also, the attainment of wealth, favor, or eminence. So that pretty much makes sense, right? It's probably what you guys thought of what the definition of success would be. But personally, I don't necessarily agree with that. I believe success is doing something you love and exceeding at it and excelling at that particular activity. So if it's for you, I love cutting grass and you're doing it at such a high level, you're successful. If it is I'm cooking and I love cooking and you're doing it at such a high level, you're successful. If it is I'm making money through the stock market and I love doing that, you are successful. So it really depends upon what you're doing and how you're exceeding at that particular activity. Now, the best way that I've been taught really what success is through somebody called Earl Nightingale. He was a radio personality from the 1950s. And if you guys don't know who he is, I'm gonna invite you to go on YouTube and write his name. Go check out his audio clip. It's called The Secret. It's a 30-minute audio clip, and that is just amazing. If I haven't listened to it 1,000 times, I haven't listened to it once, so I'm definitely gonna suggest you guys to listen to it. Now, before doing that, I'm gonna tell you why I'm mentioning him, because there's a part within that audio clip that he mentions what success is, and it's one of the greatest definitions that I've gotten. I'm gonna read it to you guys. Success is really nothing more than the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. This means that a person who knows what they are doing and where they are going is successful. Any person with a goal towards which they are working towards is a successful person. Earl Nightingale. So this makes perfect sense. If you have a goal and you're working towards that goal, you are successful. If you see there's some value within this video so far, don't miss that at all. To give me one of these, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so you can find out when our weekly videos come out. So the second thing we're gonna look at is wrong metric of success. To do so, I'm gonna talk about two specific stories about this. The first person we're gonna talk about is Dave Mustaine. So this guy was in a band and they were working really hard to make this band go famous. Right before they signed a record deal, the rest of the band members came to Dave and said, you know what, we want you out of the band. Dave was extremely angry when he found that out. He's like, you know what guys, I'm gonna make my own band and it's gonna be better than yours. And he actually went and did that. He created a band called Megadeth and they sold millions of albums, made millions of dollars, and he became a rock star, something that he wanted to do his whole life. But unfortunately, the band that he got kicked out of was Metallica. Maybe you guys know that band. Metallica was so much more of a phenom, sold so much more record labels. Years later, at the end of his career, a reporter asked him, are you happy? Asked this to Dave. And Dave's told him, you know what, I had a goal of beating Metallica and I never was able. They always sold more albums than me and they were more popular than me. So he was an unhappy person. Even though everything he wanted as a young kid, he was able to create, such as being a rock star, making millions of dollars, traveling the world. He did all of that, but he was still unhappy because he had the wrong metric of success. A second story, which is true as well, same scenario. This guy was in a band. His name was Pete Best, and he got kicked out of the band. Got replaced by somebody called Ringo Starr. Maybe it rings a bell. He got kicked out of the Beatles. When he got kicked out of the Beatles, he was extremely unhappy, sad, and so on and so forth. Like, we're talking about the Beatles here, one of the greatest bands of all times. Years later, once again, same scenario, a reporter asked him, how do you feel that you got kicked out of the Beatles? Do you feel sad? Are you angry? This guy looked at him and he's like, no, I'm not. Because I got kicked out of the Beatles, I met my future wife. I had my kids. Yes, it would have been great to be a part of the Beatles, but because I wasn't, I had this other life what I was extremely happy about. So his metric of success of Pete was completely different of Dave's. Same scenario, two different metrics of success. One's unhappy and one is happy. So we have to ask ourselves, what is the metric of success that you're putting within your life? Is it something you're deciding, or is it outside forces that's deciding it for you? Is it the society? Is it your parents? You always have to look at what is your success and structure it so you could be happy. The third thing we're going to look at is redefining your definition of success. Now this is probably the most important part of the video, because previously we looked at what is the definition of success. We looked at if you have the wrong metric of success, what happens, and now we're gonna restructure it for you to succeed. Now to do so, you have to put your definition of success at a very low barrier of entry. Now what do I mean by that? If we say, hey, I want to have $10 million before I die. That's my life goal, right? But imagine that person only makes $9 million. And then if you ask him, hey, are you happy? He's like, no, because I have the goal of making 10 million, but I only made 9 million. If you look at him, you're like, my God, you're crazy. What are you doing? Your 9 million is successful, right? It's the same style of story as Dave. He still was successful, but his barrier of success, the metric of success was completely off. It was something he cannot control. This is the important part. You have to pick a definition of something you can control. Because the reality of the matter is, I can't control if I'm gonna make $10 million. What I can control is what I'm gonna do every single day that's gonna get me one step closer towards that goal. So to do so, I'm gonna explain to you guys, I'm gonna tell you guys what my definition of success is. So my definition is, no matter what the situation is, if I give it my all and I learn something new, I am successful. So the barrier to entry is so low. All I have to do is every single day, give it my all and learn something new from that. Now, the thing I love about this definition is because imagine there's a day that I don't give it my all, but I could still learn something new from that. So I'm still successful. Like the barrier to entry is so minimal. All I have to do is learn every single day. And if I keep that barrier to entry so low, I always look at myself as a successful individual. And if I work at it, every other goal, ambition, and dreams that I have will come true. So I'm gonna invite you guys, take a pen and paper and redefine what is your definition of success. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and really got a great understanding of what is the definition of success and how to restructure it for you to really succeed. Now, the reason why I did this video is because one of my friends DM'd me and said, Chris, I love what you're doing with all of your videos. He's like, I would love to know your opinion on what is the word success, because I see people that are successful in my eyes, but they're unhappy. So it's like, what is true success? So I hope you guys enjoyed it over here. And here's the question of the day. What is your definition of success? So comment that down below. I would love to see the different types of successes that you guys are putting within your lives. Furthermore, there's some videos over here that could interest you. The first one is on my playlist on peak performance mindset. The other one is on my entrepreneurship series. Over here, I'm actually going to put my book review series. And finally, you have my profile picture that you could click, subscribe, and join the family. So I hope you guys have a blessed and grateful day.